Chris Lofton, the Tennessee legend. Welcome to the podcast, brother.
Man, appreciate you having me. I'm excited to be here. Been looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, before we get started, man, you know, we both Kentucky boys, so bourbon is a big thing where we from, man. So, you know, are you a bourbon drinker? If so, what's your go-to or some of the ones that you like?
I'm not really a bourbon drinker, but a lot of my friends, I think I've tried like a few different ones. I remember Weller.
Yep.
Weller is a good one.
You got some good friends, man.
And that's the one most, what'd you say?
I said, you got some good friends. They put you on that Weller.
Yeah, I've tried that one most recent. I think that was pretty good.
Nice. Man, let's go ahead and jump into the basketball side of it. Coming up, man, who was somebody that you looked up to or that you wanted to emulate or that you wanted to just pattern your game around as you were coming up as a young guy?
As a young guy, well,
or
my
even,
favorite,
even as a basketball player, who's somebody that you just wanted to imitate or that you looked up to?
Okay, so when I was younger, Michael Jordan was my favorite, of course, and I respected Allen Iverson because he was, basically my height doing what he was doing against those guys. So those two were my favorites, but they were like, I probably understood I couldn't be like them. They were a different athlete, but like the guy I loved watching was Ray Allen, like he was 6'5" and was a shooter. That was my dream, to be 6'5". I didn't really make it that height, but you know what I'm saying? You remember the movie He Got Game? So that was supposed to be me, man. My dreams got shattered at a young age, though. So
hey, that's probably
6'5" like Ray.
That's probably why we had similar games, man, because that was the person I modeled my game after. That's why I wore 34, man. He was the one person I wanted to try to emulate. Obviously, like you said, everybody wanted to be like Mike. You were coming up, everybody had the VHSs, the like Mike videos. But Ray Allen was the person, when I started to really take the game serious, that was the person that I sort of wanted to emulate and pattern my game after. So now, when you were coming out of Mason County, talk about your recruiting process and how you ended up in Tennessee.
Just the recruiting process, it wasn't much. My senior year, I really didn't have any offers on the table. I remember Arkansas State and Georgetown, Kentucky, right down the street.
Even being a Mr. Basketball.
Yeah, it was. Yep, it was being Mr. Basketball. So Louisville was on me my sophomore year, but then Pitino took the scholarship away from me. And then my junior and senior year, like they came back, they kept coming to watch me play. And I'm thinking at the time, like, if y'all offer me this scholarship, I'm coming, like, no doubt,
Right.
But they would come to watch me play and they wouldn't offer me scholarship. I'm just like, quit coming to watch me play, you're not gonna offer me a scholarship.
That sounds like something Pitino would do.
I was confused, because they were coming to Maysville, watch me. The coach was Reggie Theus at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was coming to Maysville to my games, and I'm just like, what are you gonna do? Like, this is my senior year, so I don't have anywhere to go. So no doubt I'm gonna sign as soon as they offer me a scholarship.
Right.
But it never happened. So we get to state tournament my senior year, and we played Wayne County the first round of the state tournament in 2004. And the head coach of Wayne County played at Tennessee like in the 60s, I think, 70s. I can't remember exactly when. But I had a pretty good game against him. So he calls Tennessee and is like, yeah, I need to take a look at this kid. And it just so happened at the time, thank God, like Tennessee had a scholarship open up just mysteriously around that same time, like one of their players transferred. And, they called me, they came down to watch me play pickup. I was in Knoxville like the next week, like on an official visit, which were kind of, but I was only there for like a day. Next thing you know, they offered me a scholarship and I was like, I'm coming. It was like, no doubt, I'm there.
So if it hadn't been Tennessee, where do you think you would have went to? Would you have ended up at Arkansas State, or where do you think you would have went if it hadn't come?
Good question, Tennessee offer? Arkansas State or Georgetown? I don't know. Prep school?
Yeah.
Just, I was like, I was just like blessed for that situation. I know it was God working, like
right.
It was one of those things where you just know.
So going through that process, being Mr. Basketball, being best player, being the best high school player in the state of Kentucky, obviously growing up Louisville and Kentucky are the big schools that, young people want to go and play for when they're growing up in the state of Kentucky. But having to go to Tennessee, once you got there, playing against the University of Louisville, playing against the University of Kentucky, did that add extra motivation, knowing how your recruiting process went and how you really didn't get that much attention that you think you deserve from those schools?
Absolutely. I wouldn't even say Louisville though, because they at one point they were really looking, they were really coming to watch me play, looking forward, looking at me. So I really don't have any. It was UK that, kind of upset me a little bit, just because it's my home state. You grow up. I grew up an hour away, and that was the home team, and it was kind of upsetting. Like they didn't even like. I'm not even gonna say mad they didn't give me a scholarship, but they didn't even like look at me. It wasn't even. I got one call from Tubby like one time, and it was just one of those. I feel like it was one of those calls where it was just like, out of I'm trying to look for the word, just like out of pity, like out of pity. Let's just call and say so you can say we call,
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was like that.
Oh man. Yeah, kind of like that backup.
Yeah, you feel me? Like,
we'll call them and just,
yeah,
you don't get these other ones, then we might toss it down.
yeah.
But we don't really plan on getting down to that
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
desperation.
So really, I don't even count it. Because I think what was going on, like when I was playing good in the AAU in the summertime, the reporters would ask me, "Has Kentucky called you, reach out?" And I'd be like, "No, they haven't." And I kept saying that, and then randomly, I'll never forget. I was coming back from an AAU tournament. A number called I didn't know on my phone, and it was I answered. I was like, "Hello." He was like, "This is Tubby Smith," and he was like, "I hear you keep saying we're not recruiting you," and I'm like, "You're not. This is the first call I've heard from you." And he was just like, "We just want you to know that we're recruiting you." Never heard from him again. Hello, just like 2 minutes like that.
I'm like, yeah, like what are you talking about? And I remember, man, I always support, especially Kentucky kids that make it out and go play someplace or just trying to do anything good. I'm a big supporter of guys from Kentucky. So I remember we were out in Maui, and it was my senior year, your freshman year. You was at Tennessee. You guys came out and played. And I remember we had finished practicing, and you guys were coming in to practice in a little small gym. It looked like a little rec gym. And I heard Buzz Peterson and Patino chatting. He's like, "Man," he said, "this Lofton kid is really making an impression. I think I'm gonna have to start him." I was like, man, that'd be cool. And so then I actually got a chance to watch you play, man, before we laced them up and played against you guys, because we had you guys later on the schedule. And I was just watching you shoot the lights out, man. And I was like, oh man. So sure enough, later on in the season, we laced up and played against you guys. I remember on the scout report, you guys, it was you, I think it was Scooter McFadden, because Scooter McFadden was my lineup, was my matchup, and they was going to put Francisco on you because Scooter was kind of a little strong, and they didn't want Francisco to pick up any fouls. And so I remember a move, man, you caught it on the wing, and you did a little hezzy, and you did a one hard dribble pull-up and sent Francisco flying, and then you cashed it. I said, oh, okay, yeah. Young fella's the real deal. I'm just glad I didn't have to guard you.
That was a good time. And, I think y'all beat up by 20 that night too. Y'all wrong doing us like that.
We caught y'all early, man. We caught you when you were young, man, and we were the upper class, but we just glad we didn't catch you in your later years, man.
I just remember it was like a close game. Then like 10 minutes left, it got down 20 quick. I had my family in the crowd. That's when y'all went to the Final Four. Y'all
went to the Final Four. Yeah.
Y'all had a great team that year.
But man, you had a wonderful career. You end up, it was a blessing. You made the right choice. I don't know if anything could have worked out any better. You were a 3-time SEC, all SEC. You were 2-time Player of the Year. You were 2-time consensus All-American. You were 5th in SEC history in 3-point percentage, 42% for your career, and you're the 2nd all-time lead scorer in SEC history. I mean, that's Hall of Fame career, man. So when you think back upon your career and you think about all the work that you put in, the motivation that you got from, your non-recruiting, how does it make you feel when you look back and having a career like that? And what were some of your brightest moments at Tennessee?
And it makes me feel great looking back and those accomplishments. Because one thing I can honestly say, LO, is that I gave it all I got. You know what I'm saying? Like every time I laced them up, I gave it all I got. I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the strongest, I wasn't athletic, but I gave it all I had every time I stepped on that practice court and on the game court. And with me, win or lose, I can live with that. You know, no matter the results. As long as I know I gave it my all, win or lose, bad game, good game, I can live with that. And you know, that's the motto I've always tried to have. You know, just make sure I gave it my all. Because this, you know, like I tell basketball players all the time, their kids be upset after having a bad game, and I always tell them, like, that's not your first bad game, and it won't be your last. You gotta have a short memory in this game. You gotta keep it going, keep moving, and be ready for the next one.
Now, when you think back, what was probably one or two highlights from your 4-year career that really stuck with you? I'll tell you one, besides playing against you personally on the court, but just watching you once I had moved on and started playing professionally. I remember NCAA tournament game, and I think you guys were playing Lehigh. You guys were down.
No, Wofford.
And yeah, man, you caught, I'm not sure how much time was left, but you caught it like in the very corner, like barely any room to step. You caught it, shot a fadeaway, like behind the backboard three, and cashed it at the buzzer. I said, oh man, that was tough. Like, yeah, I felt bad for Wofford because like it was nothing, they could have played any better defense, but it's like, man, you just got to give Chris credit for that shot, man. That was a tough shot. So what moments stick out to you? That was one, I know that was one that really probably resonates with you, but give me another moment that really stuck with you from your time.
Sure. I think that moment, and then, so my senior year, we played number 1 versus number 2, us versus Memphis in Memphis, you know, and we beat Memphis on their home court, and we were ranked number 1. And that's probably the most special moment for me because, like, my freshman year, we were awful. We were 13-17. We were a bad team. You know what I'm saying? So my freshman year, the senior year, to be number 1 in the country, right? That transition right there was special for me. Just knowing that, you know, I was a part of something big. Like I felt like, you know, I always think about like going somewhere and leaving it better than I found it, and I felt like I left the basketball program in a better place when I left. So that probably is number 1 special thing to me.
Definitely, you definitely helped bring in some great recruits following you, man. You know, helping turn that program around. I know you guys had a bag of guys coming in from Atlanta, man, with just a boatload of talent, man. It's definitely because of the trail that you blazed, leaving your footsteps there. So, also during your time at Tennessee, you had a little bit of adversity during your junior year in the NCAA tournament. Yeah. You found out that you were diagnosed with cancer. Obviously, that's devastating news. How did you go about that? Once you found out that news, how did you go about, you know, making sure that, you know what, I'm not going to get down? Or just what was your mental process, you know, once you got that and going forward from that?
And it was tough. It was upsetting, devastated, because you just, you know, like when you're like a college athlete, I mean, I'm coming off the best year of my college career. I mean, it's 2007, I'm SEC Player of the Year, led the league in scoring. You know, I got NBA thoughts, like, you know, just, and then when you hear that, when I got that news, it was just like a punch to the chest, you know, uppercut, like just, you know, brings you down, and you just like, wow, like what? It don't make sense. Like, why me? You know, like, why me? You know, and I remember asking God, like, I don't understand this. I don't get it. And just, you know, devastating. But you know, my family's big believers in Christ, and, you know, they told me to trust God, that He has a plan for everything. And now, LO, as I've gotten older, I really understand what was going on. And, you know, to this day, people are sending Instagram messages, Facebook messages, just saying they love my story and thanks for coming out and telling me, because they'd be like, I'm going through the same thing and you're my inspiration. And I can, you know, I write them back and tell them what helped me. So it's like, you know, at the time I was being selfish, but now I realize, like, you know, God was using me to help other people have the same situation, that's going through the same situation. And it, you know, it helped me realize, like, it's not all about me, it's about what you can do and help other people.
Dope, man. Dope. Now, one thing you touched on earlier is, like, you say, I'm not the biggest and I'm not the strongest. Now, you were elite but you weren't the most athletic.
Right.
How did you approach that, and how did you use that to your advantage when the game so much today, everybody relies on athleticism, being able to, jump, dunk, try to get up and down. How did you take what you had and make it elite and not being that athletic?
Just work. I like working in the weight room, doing certain things. And I had great strength coaches and people that helped me along the way, agility coaches. And just because my motto was just get my shot off, get to that spot, and raise when you least expect it. Get in there, get that floater off, get it. You know what I'm saying? Just be unassuming. No, he's not gonna shoot that. And just quick reactions, quick shots where you think I won't do it. So I worked on that a lot, and just trying to get to certain spots on the court and just playing with pace too, because sometimes it's not all about quickness. It's about that pace. It's about, like being patient with it, not rushing. So just all those combinations and just working on that and having great guys that have worked with me and learning from them has helped me a lot.
Yeah, man, you had a great pace. You were a lethal shooter, but you had a sweet handle to it. And so you really were one of the most skilled players that I ever seen. And people talk about Steph Curry now, and how skilled he is. He's not the athletic, but skill is something that can carry you a long way just as much as athleticism. Because athleticism is going to run out at some time in your life, at some time in your career. And so you're really going to have to develop that skill, in which you had from the beginning. So I think that's what really separated you from a lot of guys. Like me, I was always super athletic, but my skills I was a late bloomer with my skill. My skill set really started to come along later on. I just was able to get away with so much because I was just so much stronger and athletic, than other players.
Yeah.
So once you left Tennessee, started playing professionally, played all around the world, you won a championship in France. What have been some of the most memorable places that you've played in, and some places that you really enjoyed away from the court as well?
So my favorite place has been Istanbul, Turkey. Basketball was great there, and off the court was great too. They got everything you want. Great food, malls, lounges. Like whatever you want to do, they got. And and Turkey was the first place I played. So I played in Turkey 3 years, so it's always going to be special to me. Istanbul is going to be special because I have a lot of friends there still. And then I would say Madrid was fun. I love Madrid. I was there like 2 years. And then I like France. France was cool. I was about a 45-minute train ride from Paris, so we could get there basically whenever we wanted. So those 3 cities probably would be my favorite.
Never got a chance to play in Spain, man. Really would have liked to. Spain and Australia is probably 2 places I really would have loved to have played, but I didn't get a chance to. So everybody that I talk to always says great things about Spain and about Australia. But dope, man, dope. Now we reached the part of the podcast, man. We're going to shoot you some rapid fire questions. Ain't going to hold you up. We're going to get out of here. Give me your first thought, give your first answer. We're going to roll with it.
Gotcha.
Toughest person you ever had to guard?
Toughest person I had to guard. Like, are you saying like in college and
your whole career?
Whole career?
You ever had to guard?
I got a picture of me matched up on Derrick Rose. I know that didn't end well for me. In college.
Man, listen, I was watching ESPN Classic the other day, and they always show this Louisville Marquette game, and I'm matched up with Dwayne Wade. Now I gave Dwayne Wade probably like a 2-foot cushion. Still couldn't keep him in front of me, man. I was like, God, you talking about quick and athletic, explosive. Probably the toughest person I ever to guard, man. Favorite childhood TV show?
Childhood TV show. Probably Martin. Oh, are you saying like child, like when I was young, hello?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess Martin was when I got a little bit older. Let's see. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay. I can roll with that. Rank these players in order with everybody being healthy. Zach LaVine, Devin Booker, Chris Middleton.
I'm gonna go D-Book, Chris, and Zach.
Yeah.
Well, I can switch Chris Middleton after what he did, but I like D-Book's game. I'm gonna say D-Book.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Book. I'm gonna say Book, Middleton, then Zach LaVine. Best steakhouse you've ever eaten at?
Best steakhouse? I made it some good ones. Let's see. I mean, I like Ruth's Chris. I like Malone's here in Lexington.
Okay.
I would say those two because I've been there most recent, but I can't think. I'm trying to think of other ones I've been outside of Kentucky. I can't really think of any right now, but those two come to mind because I've been there most recent.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I'd probably say Stony River, man. Stony River.
Oh yeah, hey, Stony River's good. Yeah. I go there all the time when I'm in Nashville.
Yeah,
great state.
Stony River is probably my favorite.
I put Stony River up there.
Yeah. Other than ball, what's your next best talent?
Other than ball, the next best talent. I feel like I'm pretty good at ping pong.
I'm gonna have to
I'm pretty good at ping pong.
I'm gonna put that to the test. Your favorite person to follow on Instagram?
Favorite person to follow on Instagram? Like for what reason?
Whatever reason you want. I put no limits on it, brother.
Let's see. My favorite person to follow on IG. I mean, I like following Carucci.
Okay, that ain't a bad follow. That ain't a bad follow. I like right now, man. I probably say Country Wayne's probably my favorite, man. I like Country Wayne. He's pretty funny, man. He done really.
Yeah, he's funny. He is.
Advice for anybody that's facing adversity or tough time in life.
I would say first, keep God first. Talk to God about it. Stay in your word, and tough times don't last. Tough people do.
Nice. Your all-time favorite comedian?
All-time favorite. Man, let's see. I mean, I like Mike Epps.
Mike Epps? Okay. I'm showing my age difference, man. I'd probably say Eddie Murphy for me.
Oh, yeah.
If you had one female celebrity that could sit courtside and watch you play, who would it be?
One female celebrity. And they see me drop 40, 50.
You drop 40, 50.
And they right there front row?
Front row.
Right now, it'd probably be Carucci.
Carucci, okay. I ain't mad at you. Chris Lofton, Tennessee legend, Maysville legend. Appreciate you coming through on the podcast, brother. Appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day, man. I know it's kind of late. I'm going to let you hit the sack, man, but appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming on the podcast, bro.
Appreciate you, hello. Appreciate it.